real business owners.
Okay.
What's up, real business owners? Welcome back to the part 2 of our partner retreat,
Yes,
where we're going to map out a little bit more of our marketing methods for our for the end of this year and also next year. I'm here with the partners. I got Trevor, as always.
Yo.
We got John Dizzle back in the hot seat.
What's up?
As well as J Bone.
J Bone, I like that.
Hardwood. J Hardwood.
J Wood Hard.
Hardwood.
We got some hardwood floors right here.
Yeah, guys, for this second piece of the podcast, hopefully you guys got a lot of value in the last one. We're just kind of strategizing together. We feel like people are going to take a lot of value out of that. In this episode, we're going to kind of finish up our topics, and then we're going to start mapping out all the channels, where we're going to hit our marketing, and how we're going to try and put it all in the right places. And again, this is something I feel like you're going to get a lot more value out of. I think you get a lot of value out of listening to these episodes, but these two, I really feel like you're going to get a lot of value going to a YouTube channel, watching it, seeing how we're mapping it out. And also, Corey's going to be generous enough to share some of our templates that we are using for our marketing structures as well. So those will be linked into the YouTube channel underneath this video. So make sure you guys go check that out if you want some of those tools. But guys, let's jump back into finishing up these last 6-7 topics, and then let's map this out.
So we're on topic 18 of 24 topics. We want to drop 2 pieces of content each month to these individuals. And if you guys are just barely tuning in and this is like the first one that you're listening to, I would stop right now and I would go back to part 1. Go to episode 75 and start there, because it is a 2-part series, as Kel talked about in the beginning. So you're going to want to listen to both of these and listen to them in order. But on both of the YouTube episodes, there'll be that link that Kel talked about as well on both of them. So you can check it out on either side. But let's get back into the topics. Topic number 18 for content. I have, when is it time to change entities? Talking about different income levels and things like that, in terms of how when should you be thinking about transitioning from an LLC over to an S Corp and things like that. And we can talk about that, because that's something that we see quite often, right, John? When you're doing the discovery calls, a lot of people have entity structures that they've outgrown.
Yeah, they've outgrown it.
Yeah, so that's a common mistake that we see. So I think that would be a good piece of content.
Yeah, whoever writes this topic too, a lot of times it's worth going back to an LLC or single member from an S corporation once you reach even higher income levels, like Steve explained to us, using that tax calculator as far as structuring how you pay yourself through
What was the credit? Like a self-employment credit, or there was a credit or something? So
Well, what happens is basically when you get to a certain income level, you're already, and you're maxing out your salary, your fair and reasonable salary, you're already paying the full amount for your self-employment tax, which is really Social Security anyway. And so at that point, a lot of times it's best to go back to the LLC, since you're maxing it out anyway, and then strategize. He was talking about paying your spouse and doing a bunch of other things to reduce it even a little bit more. But whoever writes this topic, I think we should go back to that, find that research, get with Steve on that, and make sure that people understand when it's the right time to go from, LLC taxed as
an S corp.
Yeah, well, even from there to S corp, then back to
an
LLC, single member or
and then
partnership,
potentially a C corp if they're that large and making that much money.
I can't remember what the term was either, dude.
I don't remember what the term was. Yeah, I know.
Along with that, and I don't know if this is a separate topic, but paying yourself a salary as an S corporation too. There's some repercussions if you don't, right?
Well, we talked about that in the audit one.
Risk. Oh,
the
okay.
audit risk
That
in
would
terms of
probably-
what would
that's
flag an
definitely
audit.
trigger.
Yeah, that's the audit trigger. So we got 18 down. Anybody else have any ideas for potentially
I feel like
number
we don't
19?
have to. They don't all have to be tax related either. I mean, they could just be business value.
Why don't we do some personal development stuff or something like that? Some
That'd
things that have
probably be
helped you
good.
in your business. You guys are both doing 75 hard right now.
Maybe how social media can affect your business in a positive way.
Yeah.
And how to utilize maybe power moves and starting podcasts, and how it can attract business, and how you can look like more of the authority in your industry by doing these items.
Right.
Top 5 things you can do to be the authority.
Yeah.
Get a social media presence, do a podcast, or and kind of get a YouTube channel or
I
whatever.
think people want to see who they're working with, who they're doing business with.
Yeah.
And so video gives them an idea. Your
Yeah.
guys' personality comes out in the video. They know who they're talking about or
Right.
talking to, and they know
Some
what they're
bad
getting.
motherfuckers.
Yeah, I think we definitely want to make sure there's video attached to all these topics as well. But
That
we
would be
probably
cool.
could do a topic on the power of social media and videos. Just like, hey, this has impacted our business greatly. I don't know.
Because it's been over a year that you guys went down to, what was it, Miami?
Yeah,
Miami.
yeah, I was
and
about to
went
bring
to
that up.
the,
It was,
the
It's
Gary,
been 2
Gary
years.
Vaynerchuk.
It's been 2
it'll
years
be
ago.
3 years in January. No,
Yeah.
no, 2 years.
Yeah, it'll be 3 years.
No, I think it
'Cause
will be
that's
3.
what-
I think
remember,
it was 2017.
we were spying on somebody back home that
Oh.
was doing something wrong in my
You were-
marriage.
Yeah, in your marriage. Fuck.
Just take the mic, bro. Let's go.
Holy shit. Air it out, bro. Holy shit, bro. Jack's on
These guys
blast.
were
That's
having a
his,
good old time, and I was just
yeah.
sitting there all
That's
depressed.
his timestamp too. He's like, yeah, man, it's 3 years.
Yeah,
Bro.
I
I know
know.
some shit going on in
So
my
I-
personal
yeah,
life.
that's how I reference it, man. 3
Yeah.
years.
Yeah, it's fun.
When everything fell apart.
Hey, dude, I've done it too. Like when I'm like, man, how long has this been? Well, that all fell apart in 08.
That's your reference.
it.
We were hanging out. Oh, that vacation. That must have been around 06.
When people ask me when me and my ex-wife split, I was like, UFC 100. Literally, that was the night.
And this has got a special meaning. This is episode 75, and
No,
you
it's
guys are both.
76 now, bro.
Well, I know, but the last one's 75. You guys are both doing 75 hard. There we go.
Yeah.
So, and Trevor and I talked about this a little earlier. We're good on the social media thing and the content
Yeah.
for that one.
Yeah,
But
we'll
but
just
one
say
thing I
how to
wrote.
be the authority or
Social and videos.
proof or how to be the authority or something like that in your industry, something like that.
One thing that I'd written down here was discipline, and I think I talked to you about it this morning about just what you can see in yourself when you're just a disciplined person. We're sitting here eating lobster bisque and all this good food, and you guys are just sitting there just
Eating
with your
chicken.
hands behind your back.
Salads.
Yeah, eating salads with chicken.
Yeah.
It's not even hard at a certain point.
Yeah.
No. Once
exactly.
but it's a mental thing, right?
Yeah.
And you just really learn a lot about yourself and getting up early and think of the things that you can do and accomplish, the productivity that comes out of it. And you guys are doing 2 workouts a day. You're reading, so you're doing a lot more than a lot of other business owners probably.
So topic 20, being disciplined, and maybe even highlight where you should be disciplined in your business to grow.
I was
personally
gonna
and in
say
your
maybe
business.
financially disciplined or what you
true.
suggested as
Well,
well.
that's a whole nother topic we could put down too. Topic 21, financial habits.
Oh yeah, positive financial habits. That's good because we do preach that quite a bit, anyways.
I think one we could pull off on the credit repair side would be something along for businesses and loans, like proper way for like when to plan, when is the right time to go out and finance the business or how to obtain money. I think it's
Sure.
something researched up.
Okay, so we're what 21. So let's hit 22. So the idea, guys, is we want to again get through 24 topics and then kind of map out some of the things that we're going to use to distribute the content, where we want to do it, all that good stuff. So we've got 3 topics left. Do we want to do 5 best books on entrepreneurship, must reads or something like that, just as a kind of a filler to a certain extent, even though I
One of
think
our
it's
favorites.
good information.
Any of our favorites.
Yeah.
There's-
Top 5 business books or entrepreneur books.
Kel can say this is my favorite one so far, and he can write a little paragraph on a summary of why it's his favorite. You guys can do the exact same thing. We can do the top 4.
You're gonna get a variety of
and
them.
we can say Kel's favorite book, Owner. Trevor's favorite book, and
Yeah.
we can do almost like a little book
Founders'
review.
favorites.
Yeah, founders' favorites or something like that. That would be a cool title too, founders' favorites, and they click on it and see
Yeah,
that.
that's cool.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
so
write that down.
so we only have 2 topics left.
JD, anything?
Systems and processes, defining roles.
Did we do that?
Organization chart.
Did
something
we
like
did we
that?
have that down already?
No.
I thought we had it operating agreements, kind of, or no?
No, I mean that's
Well,
just
there's a
an
lot we
agreement.
can talk
Defining
about
roles,
operating
but-
agreements.
Yeah.
There's a lot because even from a legal standpoint, you know what I mean. There's a lot you can talk about operating agreements, but I feel like you could do a whole nother topic on systems and processes alone, right? And how
Internal, like how you're
define
running
roles.
your company
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
an organizational chart
Sure.
and things like
Delegating out the work so you're not
We
pigeonholed.
learned a lot
you know,
from
you're not-
Austin Netzley and his group, you know, and organization and delegating time, you know,
Yeah.
and so that'd be good.
Or finding your ideal client, actually
Target,
identifying who your ideal client is, who you're trying to appeal to. You're not trying to work with just everybody and anybody. It's, I think that's one of the biggest takeaways that we got last
creating
year
your
and
avatar
that
or whatever. Yeah.
that we implemented during this year.
designing your ideal client.
Yeah.
Top
we
24.
we went from trying to work with thousands of people and kind of overloading our accounting staff to realizing
Especially
that
for
really
other
wasn't the best
accountants.
direction. Yeah.
Especially
But-
for other accounting firms that follow our content, like that could be a pretty cool exercise for them, right? Like
Yeah.
how to design your ideal client, because that's where you want to structure your marketing towards,
Right.
So I think that could be a good topic as well.
Can we add one more bonus?
Yeah.
You got something or what?
Yeah. The value of your coaching.
Oh,
Your
dude, I was
measurables.
actually thinking that a little while ago. Yeah.
Because when from an outside perspective watching you guys,
The power of
That's when I think
masterminds and coaching.
like leveling up. When you guys really,
Yeah.
I think, start hitting a really big stride is when you're writing
You know what?
big checks.
That's actually one of the last chapters in my book. My book layout is the power of bringing it all together with masterminds like this, outside, internally, and then also coaching as well.
I think another topic could be basically what we're doing now. The importance of taking time and planning and focusing on your business rather than in your business, and the power that can have in terms of growth, because we get distracted running our businesses and we're in our businesses rather than working on our businesses. And right now we're working on
Well,
it.
think about where we were 5 years ago versus where we are now. You know what I mean? Like there was no days of checking out at 5 p.m. There was no and we do that a lot more now,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so when we feel like we're hitting those walls again, we're like, we're comfortable, right? We've got some great revenue, we've got a great staff, we've got a great team. Like things are all kind of chiming together, right? But then it's like, to go to the next level, here we are. We got to come together. We got to have our own internal masterminds. We got to plan things out, because in order to go from 12, 13, 14 million to now 20 next year, like we have to make some changes, and we got to now systemize this. And so here we are, like, okay, how can we delegate all this out? How can we structure this out? How can we blow our marketing up? Because now we have sales in place. Now we have fulfillment in place. Now we know where to scale each one of them. We need more leads, right, in order to go to the next level. So it's worth giving up some nights and some time, coming out here, planning,
Working on it,
and then even when
right,
we get
yeah.
home, banging out all these assignments and getting this all done to be able to launch into the new year to go to that next level and hit our goals. And so I think that's huge. I think it's a huge
I think
thing.
that's a good point, Corey, because initially some of these coaching programs there's $25,000 to $50,000, and on the surface it looks like a lot of money. But look at the relationship we got from Ed
They've been
and Andy
investments,
with the
right.
60-day credit repair, and
Yeah.
that alone was more than compensated for that annual fee. You know, so
But you don't know that stuff going into it. And
No.
so it's a sticker
But-
shock,
but-
and you're like,
so-
how much? I can't
You
recoup.
can't project your
Yeah.
return.
no.
I can't recoup 25 grand or 50 grand, but
But one or two relationships can make a huge
it can
difference.
change the entire scope of your business.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. You're one handshake away, one conversation away from the right individual that can connect you, or he's the connect, or she's the connect, whoever.
It's hard for people to see it's as an
That blows it
investment
up.
when they can't
See the
project
end
out
result.
the immediate return.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
So-
Everybody wants to work on projections and this. There's no way to measure that. And if it's not measurable to a certain extent immediately, because you don't know going in who you're going to meet or if you'll meet anybody, so you're taking the risk just like you would in business. You don't know for sure that your business is going to be successful, but you took the risk on that and invested the money. So invest into yourself just as much as you're investing into the business,
Right.
because you are the individual running the business. So you need to be, thinking at a high level. And so you have to surround yourself with the high level thinkers in order to get to those high levels. That's really what it comes down to.
So we got that resource, and then also we're providing services for another guy, creating leads for him. That was another relationship. So there's various types of relationships that you can benefit from.
Plus, we've had a great deal of clients come out of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Not only
We've had a lot
that,
of
but
clients
also
come out of it.
even, with McBroom,
You guys,
us calling the leads and doing the Tony event with them.
Yep.
Yeah, your competitors can become your allies.
Yeah.
There's so much value to go around. We have strengths that we're a better fit for than him, and vice versa, and we've sent each other business.
Yes,
you know?
exactly.
So, yeah, there's a lot
Exactly.
of great things that have come from that. But even outside of going to these outer masterminds, which is a huge amount of value, you can do it internally like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
And so you can
I
get
think
your
they're
team
both
together.
necessary.
I was just gonna
Get
say,
away from the
yes.
chaos. Have a little mastermind, because right now we're trying to get clear on our vision. That's what
Yes,
we're doing.
that's
We're
what it
getting
comes
clear
down
on our
to.
vision on what's it going to take to get to 20 million now,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And so here we are mapping it out, and there's a ton of value in that.
So I want to bring up a point real quick, because there's probably listeners out there that own the business themselves. And they're like, well, why would, I'm not going to go away by myself.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go away by yourself. There's key players in your business, or there should be key players in your business. And you could take that number, that your right-hand man or your right-hand woman or whatever it is. We take Corey all over the place with us because he's a good mind, right? And he sees things differently from a marketing perspective.
Sure.
So you take your leaders in your company, if you don't have partners, and mastermind with your leaders. They probably have good ideas
Great
that they
ideas.
can implement
And there's
because
They
they're
have a
on the
different
front lines
perspective
too.
in your business.
And if you're
Exactly.
a solo operator, dude, like get in some masterminds. So
Get in
you can
masterminds?
Feel that.
But-
you know what I mean?
but in some
Because
cases-
once you get in masterminds, you are going to start scaling. You are going to start growing your staff. You are going to evolve some key players that you can start in your internal masterminds with as well.
I still think it's important, even if they're by themselves, to map out and have that vision
I do
with
too.
themselves.
Yeah, I do.
Obviously, jointly, when you have partners, you should all have the exact same vision and be working towards it. And that's why it's important to come together every so often, just to make sure that we understand what the game plan is and everybody's on the same page. And because we all run in different directions in a lot of cases of the day. And communication, even if we're at the same office every day, doesn't mean that we're just sitting here communicating all
Dude, I
day
go to
about the
office
business.
Some days and I don't even see you guys. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I pop in after you're in, or you've
Yeah.
left already and I'm in, and like there's days we don't even
Yeah,
see each other. you know?
Diz is in his office with the door shut, calling people, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so,
I think what's cool about this place is look at the view, and maybe we could get some footage here, but just be disconnecting from all the distractions
Correct.
that are at the office and families and kids and everything that we have going on. But this is such a cool place. I mean, I've just enjoyed being here away from
I think
TV,
it's
except for the
Steve
debates.
I think
business and pleasure, right?
yeah.
Here we go again.
Go ahead, Jeff, take the mic. Take the mic. I'll go
But-
bathroom break for me.
But just sitting on the couch in there on the laptop, looking at the ocean and the view of Mount, what is it,
Rainier.
This is a
Rainier.
great setting.
Yes.
Yeah, amazing.
We'll definitely get some outer shots to kind of lead into this episode. I think that'd be a good idea.
But I think it was Steve Jobs that even like once a year or something, he went into the woods, or it was somebody that's like a billionaire. They'd go into by themselves, and just kind of with a notebook and just
Break it
journal
down.
and create. They'd get their creative side
Just
going with no distractions.
Yeah.
And just think about their business and the next vision for the iPhone or this or where they're going to take. You have to do, when your company gets to a certain size, you kind of have to in order to hit that next level, because now you're fighting for, dude, we have a lot of momentum, but still, to go from 5 million to 10 million is difficult. Then 10 million to 15, you have to literally have a clear vision in order to be able to make the shit happen.
Well, we were just talking
Visualization.
about that with Matt McConaughey in his book.
Yeah.
When we were flying out here, we're like, dude, what did he do? He went out into the desert for.
He sat on a hammock on the beach. Oh, no, it was
No
a desert, huh?
distraction.
No distractions. Just a pen and a paper. He wrote his book called Green Lights.
That's how you
and
can
then,
really get into the flow. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Whether you're
Exactly.
riding or whether you're
Yeah.
building,
Exactly.
whatever you're doing. Because it does take getting clear on your vision.
And
to create
and us as business owners, we don't actually you don't get away yourself enough. You know what I mean? Like with how much entrepreneurs have to deal with, it's good to get away and disconnect and individually. I think it's great for us too. Just
As
it's a
partners.
relaxing
Yeah.
environment and
Makes
it's calming and
business
all
with
that.
pleasure.
And so exactly. So it's a good pleasurable environment as well as we're getting shit done.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So relax and fucking strategize.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
So let's move. Let's
Yeah.
move it into kind of mapping this shit out, Corey. Why don't you come grab a marker and you can start. And again, if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see, us kind of mapping out how we're gonna get the content out there. So what apps or services that we are going to be utilizing to distribute the content, and where we want to distribute it, things of that nature. So this is basically your free session that most people would pretty much charge you for.
Yeah,
you
our
know?
marketing maps, they're free.
We'll get B-roll.
I mean, we don't need to write out all 24 topics up there.
No.
Yeah.
It's
But
just
I've
a-
got kind of a little idea how we're gonna.
Okay,
do
so
this.
what do we use for email campaigns just to
Okay.
get content
There
out?
will be a link.
What's the service?
There will be a link. It's called Active Campaign on the YouTube channel.
Active Campaigns is who we
Disclosure.
use.
We will be getting a little commission from it if you guys sign up, which we'd appreciate it because it's going to have an affiliate.
We do
link
get
for us.
commission.
Yeah, we get paid. If we refer over. Yeah.
Well, how much do we get paid? Full
Corey
transparency.
gets us paid.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. I mean, just so active
Completely-
campaigns.
Yeah, and Active Campaign. That'll just be a link.
How much is it a month for something
It
like
varies.
that? What's
Like
the
we've
cost?
It
got.
starts at $9. I just looked the other
Starts
day.
at $9.
Yeah, but we're like 400 a month, 500 a month but we've got 15, 20,000 emails that we're sending out to.
Yeah. So the more emails that
yeah,
you
based off of
store,
usage, how
then,
often you
uh,
send out and how much the storage is on it.
so it could be anywhere from $9 a month to $500 a month, depending on how big your list is. It could be thousands a month if it's that millions. you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the first step. Well, actually, we're going to go back a little bit further. So there will also be a link in the YouTube channel for if you guys want to follow the way that we do it. We use Trello. Trello is just basically it's a task management system. So
So we use
yeah,
Trello
So what we're going to do here on this.
task management system.
Yeah. So the first part is Trello. That's free. There are some paid plans. Most likely, you're not going to scale up from that. We also use Slack. That's a free one as well. There's a lot of automation that can be leveraged from Slack.
It's a communications app. We can actually drop the Trello tasks and then communicate with each other. It's all linked up with
Slack?
with it, right? They're integrated. So
So we use Slack to communicate,
Yep.
but Trello for the tasks.
Trello.
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 Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And then we're just going to also use Google Drive. Everybody should have a Gmail account. These are you small if you're doing a business plan, you're like $5 per user per month. But anyway, regardless, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our content and it's going to start here in Drive. Okay, we're going to have basically it's like a Microsoft Word sheet that the finished content is going to sit inside of there. Within Trello, and I'll kind of cut to a little screenshot for you guys so you guys can see how we do this. But basically, we've designed little they're boards. They're referred to as Kanban, which is just it's a way of management. It's basically you have like a to do, and then you have a doing, and then you have a done. But you can name these whatever you want. Okay.
And that's in where?
And this is in Trello, and I'll train you up on this. It's super easy to use. So we start a task here, and you can just drag and drop. So the to do, the 24 assignments here, those are going to live in here. We've actually got one that's called to write, or to film, or to video. Okay. So once those are done, these are all lined out. When those are assigned to each individual person, we'll get the homework assignment set up and a due date, which is important. We discussed about that.
Right.
That's one of the areas where my shortcomings is when you don't assign a due date.
Gotcha.
I tend to put that one off forever, and it gets
Okay, so the first step would be somebody would download Slack if they have people that they need to communicate with, and then they get Trello
Yep.
integrated with Slack. And inside of Trello, you basically what we just did is we did 24 or 5 topics so that we can put it in Trello under the to-do list, and those are the topics that we have to either write something on or film a
We're gonna
video
divide and
on.
conquer on these.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
Really, the idea is to get all the content back to Corey so that he can then properly distribute it, right? So all the areas I feel like that we need to distribute it to, there's so many, right? But we don't know until these are done and until we see what kind of engagement we get, whether it's through the emails, the social media. We don't know which ones are the hitter ads, right? That we're going to run over and over again and utilize for retargeting.
Yeah, we can touch
right?
on that too.
Yeah.
So within Active Campaign, you could do what's referred to, and going back to how you said simplify things, a split A/B test. You basically just take version 1 and you pit it against version 2. So we can try different topics for each one of these, or headlines for each one of these.
Yeah,
topics.
headlines. Yeah,
You know,
the images. How hard is it to deliver videos versus like images versus text
On what?
on email?
They say that the open rate is really kind of determined by the headline. So once it goes inside of it, it doesn't really matter. The only thing is if you're embedding video, we've ran into this problem, that if you're using like a lot of email clients like Gmail or Yahoo, they don't let you embed video directly in it, meaning you can open up the email, you don't ever leave. You click it and play behind it.
Yeah.
They just don't allow you to do it. So that is kind of a disadvantage to it. But the objective for us is a couple things. Is that when we first, the content is going to start off on our blog. On that blog, and this is important to note, is it's going to have a tracking pixel. And the tracking pixel is going to allow us to measure cookie data from, Facebook and from Google and those kind of things. And we'll touch on that, why that's important here in a minute. But,
So we go to the to-do list, and then it goes over to doing, and then done pretty
Yep.
much.
So-
And then once it's done,
once it's done, what I
then
actually
somebody
here-
grabs it from there, which would be you. You would grab it
Yeah.
from the done folder.
And ours naming's a little different. This would just be simplified. But,
Correct.
I've actually got a pretty elaborate one where it's coming in for once it's going from the doing done, it's technically, I call it published. And once it's published, I have a promote. So once this published happens simultaneous. So that task is going to sit here, basically it's done, right? But that triggers a brand new event for me. Now that's a new set of tasks that I come over here. So I'll simply drag that over, and that's basically for my ads. And the ads is going to come in and hit that. But the cool thing about ActiveCampaign, what this allows us to do, is that it's going to give us the ability, we can take one piece of content, like one email, we can fire it out, test the subject lines for the open rate, okay?
Which brings a real quick question. So should we do 3 headlines each on each email that we draft?
Sure.
And then we'll just rotate them out. There are headline generators that can help us write these too. And
What do you mean by rotate them out? Does that mean that
it's
you
just, it's simple
Just
testing.
if you send it to 4,000 emails and one gets a freaking 27% open rate, one gets a 5.
So
like,
you
we know that
basically
that headline is
you
making a
you
difference,
test
right?
it on a small piece of your database.
You just split it out.
Yeah,
Well,
like the
well, you
subject line.
could do a sample. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if you have 30,000 emails
This is just the
and
subject heading that you're
and you
saying?
tested 1,000 emails on 3 different headers and one of them stands out, then wouldn't you blast that out to the other 27,000
Yes.
with the best open rate?
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
that's
And then,
I mean, that's
and
how
then
I
when
would
you
see
know
it.
that it's a kind of a hitter, like, dude, a lot of people are, then you use it for your social media too.
And your ads, exactly.
And your
right.
ads.
Yep.
And you
Yeah.
use it for your retargeting.
So we're gonna run a
and
little
everything.
test on the front side of it, see what our open rate, how well it resonates. And then that's why this is sitting over here. Once we've got that data, then we start running our ads. Okay? So then the ads, once they come in, a few mechanisms are happening. That tracking pixel is super important because it'll follow them around. And when they land on the website, there's a little, actually it's pretty complicated for setting it up, but what we can do is we can monitor the time on the page and to what percentage they view to it. So, like let's say that you've got a 1,000 page article or 1,000 word article, and maybe the user only came a third of the way down. I can fire a separate pixel that this is a cold lead. They didn't show a lot of interest in that. Okay, they're gone. But somebody who consumes through all of the content, I'm going to consider them warm. So now when it comes time to actually send out our ads for them, like across the platform. So we know that they came in from the email, they clicked on that. I want to start following those people on Facebook, and I'm going to only display the ads if they're not matching up with our database for a client. So they're going to
So for retargeting, Kel, the ones that, like these code leads, we need to write an email, a follow-up email, or however we're retargeting them, and keeping that in mind that they're a cold lead. They only read through a third of that, so try and hit them again, try and get them to a warm lead, right? And
I
move
wonder,
them along
I wonder
the
if
process.
you could do that, since obviously they're not the long read content people if they didn't read the full thing. I wonder if you catch their interest by just doing a shorter version, a short one.
But our
and
emails-
get
Possibly a
'em-
video.
or a
Right?
video,
They-
yeah.
they may be-
They
Well,
may
a lot
be
of
better
times
on
Respond
retargeting
better.
is just a great image or a short video with a great headline, but then once they click on it, like, they're in the funnel, right? We have a funnel, whether it's your phone sites or whatever one we use, and then we can get them back to that article, get them finished reading it where they can input their information, become a hot lead.
Right.
But some people might respond better to video than they would text and stuff. And so
Right.
you just never know. But the idea is you've already paid for that lead. Might as well follow them around until you can get them into your bucket, right?
Yep. Exactly. And that's where coming in and like we're gonna hit them on ads. You guys watching this, if I've done my job right, you guys should be seeing ads everywhere. You should be going in and going, oh my gosh, they're reading my email. Like, Look Easy Accounting is throwing up an ad in my Gmail, and then I go to LinkedIn, they're there, they're on Reddit and everywhere.
And we'll duplicate the same thing for RBO, right? And we'll have its own separate campaign too, so that it's just like we have 2 different styles, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
There's Gmail, LinkedIn, FB, Twitter, Instagram.
yeah, Instagram.
Dude, do we even put down in there like Haro?
What about YouTube? I don't see YouTube.
Yeah,
on
YouTube.
Yeah, I'm still adding. And then YouTube.
Oh, Reddit.
Yeah, those pretty much anywhere where I can buy an ad space, I'm going to hit them. Now, the ad that's going to be shown to them is going to depend on, number one, the source that they came in from, and matching if they're an existing customer. We're not going to spend ad revenue if we have to if they're already a customer, and the level of interest in this. So if a lead form is filled out on the blog or even on Facebook or anywhere along, those are going to attach back into our CRM, and then that lead is going to be delivered back to JD. So this whole thing is going to kind of look messy. I'll do some illustrations for them on to show where the whole kind of flow goes through on it. But the biggest obstacle really is right here in the front side.
Just getting the content to be able to distribute it.
Yeah.
What about these other channels as well? Like, first of all, business.com, Haro, Forbes, like how can we link those all back as well? Because we're going to be dropping our content into those as well.
Where those we're getting in kind of a different realm, like the SEO realm, that like, the first thing is just the value of the traffic. It's a high traffic sites.
But once we have all the content created, we might as well drop it in there for more linking, right?
Yeah. So, and that's the nice thing is that for SEO, if we're getting a trusted site, help a reporter out that you talked about earlier in the last episode.
Mm-hmm.
That comes in. It's really hard to get links from like, Newsweek or from CNN or Fox. They just don't dole those out. But reporters, they're not accountants. So they use this service that says, hey, I'm doing an article about, Trump. That one's for you, Jeremy.
Oh,
Trump
thanks.
in 2021. What's going to happen if he wins or loses? And so they'll reach out to
Biden's
they don't
tax
know
plan
anything about
versus
this.
Trump's tax plan.
Yeah, they don't know anything about this. So they're going to reach out to an expert. And then the value for us is the fact that on those bio pages, when they link back, all of that link authority for search engine optimization, it's basically, if you think of SEO as it's like a democracy, who votes for that website to be in that number one position, that's distributed mainly through backlinks. So that's the value in the long part.
Yeah.
But the other thing is what we can do is on the referring source coming back into our website, we can start to notice like, okay, this is coming in from Newsweek, and those people have a long time on site, and whatever. We can increase our ad campaign for anybody coming in for Newsweek. We're going to start buying more space, but that again comes back in. If they hit that tracking pixel, we start following them around.
We stay in front of them. That's important. Now, what about integrating SMS? So how can we do that to be able to stay in front of people with the text message as well? Because we know the open rate's
It's super
insane
high.
on that, right? Like, is there a way that we could, as we're building and growing our list, we can send text blasts out? Obviously, if they opt out, they hit stop, whatever. But if they haven't, we can just send them reminders. I know we want to integrate it with our fulfillment and our people that are our clients. Like, hey, just drop your P&Ls. But how can we integrate it with our marketing possibly and be like, hey, here's a text message.
do that.
Find out. Here, watch this quick video on how we can save you X amount of dollars, or check out this new R&D tax credit.
We've done that with 60-day credit repair.
Yeah.
So it's just a follow-up. So as soon as these people, they submit the lead, we're immediately getting notifications to our call center people. So we'll automate it for you, with the text message. We built it with these guys, and we can do it again, so it won't be hard.
Yeah,
What's the text system that we already that we have used before in the past? The touch points.
And I think that they do have all the APIs. I remember when we first started using it, they weren't quite advanced yet, but I think they have new APIs where we can integrate it a lot more.
Yeah, I've got experience in Twilio, and Twilio, we can have Chris integrate pretty well just using their API into our CRM too, but we'll just want to look at them and see which one fits us best and get all that set up,
There is the capability, talking to Sam, who built this other process for us. He says that they have technology where that once they open the email, it can alert us and we can actually call them up and say, hey, you know, we understand you just opened our email. We just wanted to, you know. So it's kind of cool what they're doing.
That is.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. So yeah, going back to the actual assignment here. So inside of Trello, the reason we're going to use Slack is just it's a good way we found everybody communicates within the company. So another app that can be done there. So I would prefer that we don't use text messaging on like these type of projects. If we could just try to stay within Slack, it just gives us a history of it. So if there's any questions or we need to be able to
Oh
pull
yeah, and the
resources,
only thing I
yeah.
don't like about Slack is for it to like let you know you have a message. You gotta at somebody.
Yes,
So
yeah.
our group, if it's like gotta be like at Kel, at Jeremy, at Trevor. You know, where you at with your topics this month?
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean, or whatever. Deadline's coming up. Like we got to make sure we're atting each other. Otherwise, it won't alert me. And if I don't have a notification on my phone, dude, I don't check it. So like I like the notification on my phone.
Sure. Yep.
So the first thing is going to be
I forgot about that.
Especially because I have so many
Yeah.
channels in Slack, dude. Even with other companies, I have channels in Slack.
right. So the next step in our task is to take the 24 content pieces. Either volunteer on which one you want to take, or if we just dish out assignments on it. Establish the due date, and I think that it's pretty reasonable if we start either the 1st of December or went away till 1st of January. But this whole machine is out moving, so what we're going to have right now, we're going to be sending out a first welcome. When somebody first reaches out to Diz, he goes in and puts it in the CRM. That's what fires the sequence. So after that, I'll have, as we're building, we don't need 24 pieces of content today. We probably need 4 to 6 before we start. And then as long as we know that those are being dropped in every week, we can stay in front of them.
Do we have like a welcome email and everything built and lined up?
We're gonna redo a welcome video.
Yep.
I've got some ideas for that. I think we should film that pretty quick too.
And
So-
for both,
So-
for each company.
So that'll be the first initial contact, right, of email?
Well, when they sign up.
Yeah, when they sign up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess you got two audiences. You got existing audiences, and then you have potential, right?
Right.
So, or existing clients, and then potential.
Yeah, and what JD was saying too is that it kind of depends on the, obviously, where they're at in their cycle. They might be like, we're just doing our research, you know. few
The
weeks.
dating phase or something that's super urgent. You know?
I feel like if we go hardcore on I guess I shouldn't say hardcore, but I feel like if we go if we're very committed to really creating the tax plan with the R&D tax credit, with the amended review, and we're finding people that money right up front, it's gonna be so easy for us to just like show them that value out of the gate,
Build that
like tens of
credibility.
thousands of dollars of their money we're getting back for them to one, get more testimonials and videos and all that, right? But also turn them into huge referral sources for us as well.
Yeah.
Maybe build a video. It's like, hey, we don't want to like try and motivate you guys to go out and promote the hell out of us, but look how much of an impact we've made on you by saving you all this money. We can instantly turn you into an affiliate here, and everyone you do refer to us because of your experience with us, we do want to pay you on. So it's just a nice little side income for you. Before you know it, we have thousands of people sending us thousands of people, right? And so I feel like that's kind of a final piece of our marketing. If we just really hit a home run with their tax planning, we sell that initially, we build the value in that, we show them money, we're going to have tons of people out there marketing for us, right? And we
Yep.
give them an affiliate commission because we already have it built in our CRM to where we can add them as an affiliate really quick and track those commissions for them.
Yeah, I don't
we
think there's
actually
any.
now have embed code that we can send out somebody.
I don't think
And they
there's
can
any
just put it on
bigger
the website,
compliment
and they
though.
leave the website, and they just it'll give them credit. We set up their commission structure.
Yeah.
You usually send out what checks once a week. That's
For our affiliates? Yeah. Yeah.
So they get paid quick, and anyway. So the next step is really going to be to figure out who takes what at the top of it, and then those, like I said, they're going to live. We're going to make a piece that's emailed out, and then it's going to also live on our website. So those are the first two things that once that content is written, then it goes. We work on WordPress. It has an option to schedule, so I don't have to wait until those are all come in at the last minute. When those come in, we'll just say, all right, this is going to be sent out on the 1st and the 15th of every month. Those are automatically scheduled. Our ad campaign comes along promoting that new piece of content, and it'll start to follow people as they come back in, like I said, and hit our tracking pixel and just follows them through the
Cool.
scene.
So it sounds like we need to write the content, get that all lined out, and or we need to chop up a shit ton of the videos we already have and film some new videos as
Yeah,
well.
exactly.
Yeah.
And keep
All
in mind,
before the end of this year.
right, and keep in mind too, we don't I prefer us if we could write or film video for each one of them, just because it allows us to host it on YouTube, and then from there we can pull in, just basically growing our content more. But if it means the difference of launching something on our written and having a video or not, I'll still go with the not. And if we have to use video from YouTube or from an open source that we're allowed to post, we'll do that. Video engagement for those listening, the longer you can keep somebody on your website, the more pages that they view, the higher your click-through rate. It demonstrates to the search engine, specifically Google, the higher your authority is on the subject. So the whole purpose is to try to keep it sticky on the page as long as possible, and then that helps elevate us in our other positions too.
So if
Yeah.
people hit your website and then bounce right off, Google sees that and they say, okay, well, you don't have good information on this subject on your
Right.
website. We're going to push you down. Yeah, because you're making us look bad here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that assigned out. Immediately that's set up in the queue to be able to go through. We move everything from the Trello, from the doing to the done board. That queues it up for me for the ads to follow those through. Pretty straightforward. I know that I tend to.
Pretty
I know,
straightforward.
oversimplify, but
Yeah.
also for people they don't have, if they can't afford an on-staff marketer, they can take this framework. Literally go to
Right.
Upwork.com. You can go to Fiverr. Really great resources, even like Philippines Craigslist, and you can hire somebody that can cut up your video for you, and you can hire somebody to do your ads, and even just start testing this out.
Well, yeah,
It's really-
So if you gave them a roadmap and then you
Yeah.
hired somebody off of Upwork.com or
Like
Fi-
our
Fiverr's
guy's
been
totally
great.
overloaded
Or
right now,
Fiverr.
so we're
Yeah.
outsourcing some of our old videos that never got done just to get those
Out
all
the
chopped
bottleneck.
up.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So-
excited to see what he produces from that, honestly. And if we have some of those videos already all chopped up, that's gonna help us write the content. And then on some of them, if we have the content right now, it's gonna help us film the videos, right?
Mhm.
So kind of have to figure out how we're gonna divide and conquer that.
Yeah. So what we'll do is, again, we'll make sure that you guys have downloadable versions of all of this because, obviously Corey wasn't on a mic when he was kind of mapping that out. Hope you guys can somewhat hear him when he was talking. But I do think it's going to be a benefit to you guys to watch it on YouTube. The battery to the camera did die at one point through it, so I'm not sure what the editing is going to look like on that. But anywho, just make sure that when you get done listening to this podcast, you go over to YouTube if you're just listening on Spotify or whatever, or iTunes, and download this if it's something that you're interested in, because it can get confusing just listening to a bunch of people talk about these sequences and it goes from here to here to here. These are the apps. You guys might be trying to take notes and it's just going all over the place and get confusing. So we'll have Corey basically put a mini downloadable version, almost a little presentation on paper of here's the apps that we're going to use, here's the sequence of how you do it, and then you could literally hand that over to a marketing individual that knows what they're doing. They're going to understand all that. And you can communicate with them through Slack, through some of the things that we just talked about to keep updated on the project or where they're at in the marketing, the tracking pixels. Because if people are opening up your emails, you want to follow them around a little bit. The tracking pixels allow you to follow them and put an ad in front of that individual on Facebook or, wherever they're at, YouTube. And so that's why it's important to understand that you do have to track the people that are opening and how long that they're reading so that you can determine which ones you want to continue to target in your marketing. So
Just like anything, man, you gotta have the data to continue to make decisions, right? So, Corey, what do you think about the different ad building softwares out there, such as ClickFunnels, phone sites? I know you've built some things in both. I know you've built some stuff in ClickFunnels. I know there's other ones out there as well. Which ones do we use? Are you going to put those up in there as
Yeah.
well?
one of these mics right here.
Yeah, in fact, I'll grab the handheld over here. I love phone sites. That one is, well, first of all, it's really affordable. I think it's $49 or $99. I don't know if our
They
price
got
on it.
tiers. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if ours is the early price though. But anyway, regardless, really affordable. You can do everything from your phone.
Yeah.
Like that's the coolest thing about it is that like you can build a landing page. There are templates. If you're doing it right, you can do it in probably under 5 minutes,
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Maybe we can drop some of those resources to him
Yeah,
as
I'll
well.
put that in
Like,
Yeah, I think we have an affiliate link.
Yeah, we do.
on the
Yes.
site. Yeah.
By the way, so assume that if there's a link in there, we might be
Yeah.
an affiliate link.
yeah. So if we drop links, just click on it. Use our link so that we can get paid for it. You know, it ain't there
That's
for
not
somebody
how
to get
it
paid.
is.
For real, just
Yeah.
I mean, don't
Yeah,
check it
it's the
out.
same
and take
price.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's the same. It is the same
Uh-huh.
price no matter what. You might as well hook it up.
Yeah.
You know, so
it
support a
up.
motherfucker. You know,
We got Abraham
We need to
Lincoln
keep the
over here.
lights on, you know?
Well, going back to that, answer the full question. Okay, so phone sites of love, WordPress. You can find resources online for any outsourcer that knows how to work within WordPress. So you can self-host. ClickFunnels a little bit spendy, but it has a ton of resources. But
It was frustrating, some things I was trying to do on it. So I
What,
mean, I
ClickFunnels
didn't
was
didn't
kind of-
get really deep into it.
Yeah.
You know, my wife just built a page on Shopify. I had someone at Fiverr do it. It looks great. Now she paid $100 for it. So yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, she
cheap.
got hooked up.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll give you guys all the resources, all the links. Click on the links, sign up for whatever you need to sign up for.
Yeah, we'll share our final marketing maps with you.
Yeah. So, and if you guys have questions about this or whatever, and you got a lot of value out of it, but you're confused about something, send us just a DM, and then maybe we can email you
Help
over
guide you.
the downloaded version of what we're talking about here. If you have trouble downloading it on YouTube or on whatever, just let us know on a direct message, and then we'll get your email and send it over to you. So, but if we have your email, you know you're gonna get an email, about 24 of them next year. So just be prepared for that.
That'll be good though.
Hopefully more. Yeah, as long
that's
as you're not
valuable.
annoying people and you're delivering good
Well, it's all
content. I
good
think
information. I mean, everybody
Yeah.
should want to hear this shit, you know. And then every 7 times we'll just throw out an offer.
offer,
to you,
yeah.
you know?
I think the real value.
Take advantage of it if it's going to benefit you.
The real value is like taking the time, mapping this out, and then just getting it done and putting it out there. I mean, so many people struggle to just put it out there, right? Like these are not going to be perfect ads. We're going to put a ton of value into them.
Yeah.
There's probably going to be some mistakes or some people that
There
are
always
critical
is.
and all that great stuff. But you just got to put stuff out there because you are going to find those ones, if you're consistent, that are home runs that you can turn into ads, that you can gather more leads, and that you can get more customers. And so, I mean, that's really the value, I think, is take the time, map it out, have your own internal masterminds, and make sure that you just putting it out there. You're going to get better as you go.
Yes, absolutely.
So, guys, I hope we brought plenty of value to you. You know, I think it's very valuable information, even if you're maybe not at that spot in your business to where you feel like that you need this type of stuff yet. I still think it's smart if you go download this free thing on the link on YouTube. I mean, just so that you have access to that in the future, because you just don't know where you're going to be in 2 years or 3 years, and you're going to be like, man, where was that? I heard that one thing that I think I could have used now, you know?
So we were exposed to ClickBank how many years ago, Cal? We tried to run a Forex offer. Had we got on this bandwagon back then, we would be so much further ahead. You know,
We just stayed on it, right?
Yeah,
Stayed
exactly.
consistent with it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah.
actually built, remember Forex Money Train? Mm-hmm. Dale Klaus.
we're reaching way back, but
Yeah.
had we just
fictitious name I came up with to write this guy's story, you know.
you still remember. I would not wait on online marketing, man. I would just get on it and take the advice that we've given today.
There's
Just
so much
start.
great information everywhere. Right?
Yeah.
But we're going to utilize a ton of outsourcing and our internal studs between Corey and Austin, and we're gonna build some cool shit. And that's really what we're gonna do from here after we get off this episode. We're gonna start delegating out the topics and getting to work.
Yep. So yeah, this episode was brought to you by Easier Accounting.
And 60-day credit repair.
Because that's what we're mapping out. You know, so that's who it's brought to you by, and you're welcome. So guys, here's the deal. Please just take a couple minutes of your day and write a review. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Even if you don't watch shit on YouTube, subscribe to it. It definitely helps. Having more subscribers, I think, in general.
And share.
And yeah, you know,
If you find value in
yeah,
it, share
exactly.
it.
Share it with somebody that you think could benefit from it, and you guys have done a wonderful job of doing that. There's plenty of people that follow us on a day-to-day basis, based upon the fact that a friend told them about it. So we definitely appreciate that. And again, guys, all we do is try to give you information that we think is valuable to you, and we hope you take it and do something with it and win. That's the biggest compliment that we could get, is getting stories back 6 months later or a year later saying, hey, I listened to this episode and it changed the trajectory of my life or my business or whatever. We get messages like that all the time, and it's super rewarding, and that's why we do what we do. We made money before this podcast. We'll make money after the podcast. This is really just about impacting people and giving entrepreneurs a fucking roadmap.
Right.
We drop fucking fire, week after week, and this is information that people charge thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for.
True.
And so, all we do is ask for you guys to, drop a review or share the information. So other than that, we wish you guys well, keep kicking ass, and we'll see you next week.